That is not me, just to be clear. That's my dad, but everything starts with him. He's a petroleum geologist, and his first job out of college was living in a tent in the jungle in Argentina for 2 years. That's how he started working. After 2 years in the jungle, he lived in Tierra del Fuego, the southern tip of South America. It doesn't get any further south. And that's my father. That's why I moved. My parents met in Texas. My dad's job transferred him to Nigeria, but he went back to Houston, married my mom, took her back to Nigeria. She was pregnant with me, went back to Houston where I was born, and then a month later back to Nigeria. So we were in Nigeria for 4 years. It's not an easy life there. I think Nigeria has always been a dangerous place. That's some Easter 66. But my parents had to worry that something might happen to them, that they might be killed. What would happen to me? They honestly believed that the IEs would protect me and hide me underground, that I would somehow be safe if something happened to them. After that, we moved back to the States, to Houston, to Colorado, the snow and the mountains, and then we moved to Ethiopia. We moved at the beginning of 2nd grade, living at the Hilton Hotel first in downtown Addis Ababa. I'm in 2nd grade and I have to start going to school right away. But I come home one day and find out that my brother, who's too small to go to school, he's been petting a lion by the pool at the hotel. I'm furious. I go to school and he's petting lions. Somebody's watching their pet lion by the pool, and I have a picture somewhere of my brother, too small to go to school, standing next to a lion, nobody holding either one of them. But it's not my only lion story. My dad grew up poor on a farm and always had horses. So as soon as we had a house, he started buying horses. And I had one to train on, one for racing, competition, one for jumping lessons. One day in jumping lessons, my horse throws me off into a stone wall, breaks my arm really bad. The doctors in Ethiopia can't fix it, so I have to go to Beirut, Lebanon, and I'm in a hospital in Beirut for 2 months. I was in 3rd grade, and there was a girl in the room next to me, even smaller than me. And they would bring her into my room because I had a TV in my room. She had stuck her head in a lion's cage, and it had sheared off about half of her face. I still wonder about that girl and what happened. This is, 1973, and I can't imagine what kind of help or surgery she got then. 2 lion stories. This is what much of Ethiopia looked like that I remember, but it was also a really great place. I could ride my horse over to a friend's house, tie it up, play all day, ride home. It was great. We had to leave in a rush because a military group came in and killed Haile Selassie, the emperor. He was a really great man. So we're going to move to Peru. I'm a pet mama. I can't wait. Probably more horses. But as we're packing our boxes, my dad got transferred to Singapore. So my brother and mom and I moved back to Texas. And my dad went to Singapore, then Thailand, and then Afghanistan before he rejoined us in Texas. We ended up going to San Antonio. All of those moves were with my family. And at that time, then I was going to graduate from high school. I moved to Houston for a teaching job and for the art community. The art community was really great to me, and I got an artist residency in Vienna, which meant the Austrian government is going to pay for me to come and make artwork in Vienna. There's Also, all of this is before digital cameras. I don't have great pictures for these stories. Boxes and boxes of photographs, but I don't have digital pictures. I loved Vienna. Vienna is all art, all the time. It's more than you can take in, and that's how I spent my days. It's just going to the art galleries and the art museums. And it felt like home. I thought Vienna is home. When I got off the plane, this is it. This is where I want to stay. I'm going to make every effort I can to stay here. I interviewed at an international school there, got a job offer, go home to Texas, so I'm going to pack up. But the school in Vienna can't get a work visa for me. So I have to unpack, settle back into Texas. Then I got a job offer. I interviewed in South Korea. A great school. I really wanted to go there, but they don't have any openings at the time. Can I wait until they have something open up? I'm like, yeah. Do you like me enough to call me back when you have an opening? It's a great school. I want to be there. Yes. A year later, the principal calls me up and says, can you be here in 30 days? Yeah. Yes. Yes, I can be there in 30 days. Whatever it takes. So it's a summer of paperwork and getting my cats ready. But yes, I got there in 30 days. It was a fabulous school. My cats, I took my 3 cats. I have 2 cats that have lived on 3 continents now. When I was talking to the principal and interviewing, I asked, what should I bring? And she said, well, whatever makes you feel at home. I'm going to bring my art collection, because I've collected a lot of art. I feel like I'm in my home. I don't feel like I'm a tourist. I don't feel like I'm just traveling through. This is my home. Bringing all the artwork and hanging it makes me feel like I live here. I'm going to stay here. My students, after South Korea, I did move to Bolivia. My dad's was in Bolivia for 34 years. When I wanted to move near him, getting there, I still have 3 cats. One of them now has diabetes and is sick. So I buy her a seat on the plane next to me. We have a layover from Korea to Barcelona, Spain. And I've got to figure out what to do with my cats. So we sleep on the floor in the airport as people go by. It's just what you have to do when you move. Get to Bolivia. But it's political chaos. The jobs don't pay anything in Bolivia. You can't earn a living in Bolivia, so I'm going to have to look for a job elsewhere. But, well, first I got a job offer in Shanghai. Great. But then the whole country is shut down, like COVID, but for political reasons. You can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. Streets are blocked with trees people have cut down, piles of tires, cars. Complete neighborhoods are out blocking the streets. Nobody's going anywhere. I can't get to the airport, won't really matter, because planes aren't coming and going. But I've got a job offer. So I don't know what to tell my principal in Shanghai. My dad, who at the time, my dad is 88 at the time that I lived in Bolivia with him. He says, very confidently, he thinks he can smuggle me out of the country into Argentina. So I message my principal and say, don't worry, I'll get there. My dad says he can smuggle me out of the country. I don't know how he's going to smuggle me out of a foreign country during political protest into another foreign country, but he thinks he can do it. This is the kind of life my dad has led. This was the day that all the political protests ended and the country opened back up and I could get paperwork that would allow me to go to the airport. It was long. But I can't get my paperwork in China. I have to move, in Bolivia. I have to move back to the US and spend a couple months getting paperwork, collecting all my paperwork to get here. I arrived February 11th, 2020. COVID had locked everything down. I didn't know that I was supposed to be locked in my apartment for a while, so a coworker is showing me all around. He takes me down to the Bund. It's me and him and 2, maybe 3 other people. I have no idea what the Bund usually looks like, but he says, it never looks like this. There are never only 5 people at the Bund. I liked Shanghai, but there were job opportunities in Ningbo. The first school didn't work out, but thankfully I found GSN. And I've had the chance to travel. Moving around like this, you're going to be different. You will be different from the people around you. They will be different from you. They won't speak the same language. All I knew is they wanted to take a picture with me. That's it. My Chinese was horrible. I did not understand anything except they wanted a picture together in front of Mao. These are all the countries that I've lived in. Until I was in my mid-teens, we had moved on an average of every 2 years. Every 2 years of my life, we moved countries, continents, something. And I remember in first grade in Colorado, eating lunch in the cafeteria, and the principal came up and put his hands on my shoulders to get my attention. And he said he heard that I was moving to Africa. I had no idea why this was news. Why is this important to bring up? I didn't know that people did not move every 2 years of their lives. I thought this was normal. It wasn't until I was in high school that I realized that my life moving around was different. And it wasn't until I was a teacher I realized that I had gone to an international school when I was little. You have to be accepting of the differences that I mentioned. And as much as I loved Ethiopia, and it was an incredible childhood, one day in my 20s I realized I'm probably not going back. Well, even if I thought it was home, if I'm not going back, and I realized I don't have a home. I don't have a home to go back to. I could go back to Texas. If you asked me where I'm from, I would say Texas. But is it really home? I could go back, but it would be a different Texas. There would be a different place. There would be different people. But I love moving, and I love going to other countries, seeing other cultures, seeing other art and artifacts. There are a lot more places that I would like to move to, but things in my life have changed even within the last year. I went and talked to Mr. Kavon about the future of GSN and how much longer did I want to stay, because there are still these other things I want to do. And even in the last year, that's changed. And China might be the last place that I call home. Thank you.